Well, howdy, y'all. Now, I will be telling the tale of Manny, the male feminist. I would have called him Manny the mangina, but he was too decent of a person to me, and he seemed, at one point, be on the so-called alpha track, until he associated with a feminist and allowed what the PUAs called beta creep to happen. So, once upon a time, I lived in a very small town, where people run into each other a lot. I came across Manny several times, working at a corner store near my apartment. He seemed like a decent enough of a fellow, so we were always polite to each other. At the time, I did not know he was a male feminist, and that he knew I was a MGTOW. So the weird smiles and so forth went over my head. But eventually, Manny got a second job at a bar-like place that I went to a lot. This is the bar that I mention a lot in my tales, so it was obvious that Manny had two jobs. At the bar, we would talk when he got off from work. Manny would step to me with some feminist argument, knowing I was a MGTOW, and to try to prove me wrong or win the argument. He always lost or refused to hear the truth. This happened about 3 times. The first with a child support argument and all their man-up garbage. Then it happened when he tried to bring up something about rape and consent. Then finally, he did not know the reason, but I did. He brought up porn that was demeaning and displayed women in an overly submissive and subjugated way. And he said that women do not like that kind of sex. This is when I laughed out loud to him and simply said that is not true. And if he believed it, then that means he never fucked his woman right. And I pretty much went back to ignoring him. So about 2 months passed until Manny showed up again and confronted me again with the same issue and argument, as if repeating it was going to change my position. And I said to him that he does not know what he is talking about, and asked him why he would be bringing up the same argument a second time. Oh wait, I will have to set up my scene before I get to our interaction. So it was a beautiful spring day. I was off from work and had made a good deal of money the previous day. I was in a new place and enjoying the sun and the peace of the town. I was at the back most part of the bar's courtyard, as far away from the stage as one can get, and I was staring into a thatch of bamboo trees. Yes, we have bamboo trees in Texas. And the thatch was medium-sized, but swaying in the breeze. I was at peace. I had isolated my mind from all the people behind me. I was staring into the shapes of the leaves and meditating. I was comfortably numb from the alcohol, but not yet drunk. I had not felt such peace in a long time. The beauty of the sun, the sway of the bamboo, the wind on my flesh. I felt connected. Then Manny comes to ruin it all. So Manny steps to me with the same issue as last time, and it triggered in me the idea that he is either trying to hurt me or trying to rationalize and justify to himself something he thought. So I asked and told him that. And he looked stunned. I was like, you are either trying to hurt me, but that is not true. You are too young and pure for that. So then I said, wait, do you have a girlfriend? And he said, yes. And then I asked, is she a feminist? And he said, yes. And I started to laugh uncontrollably. I could feel the bar start to watch us. I was like, look, man, she is projecting onto you. what she either doesn't want to feel when she watches demeaning porn, or she is trying to convince you that she doesn't like that kind of porn because she does like that kind of sex. Then I said, to clarify my hypothesis, I said, next, she will be telling you that she does not like guys with muscles or guys with big dicks. And he said, yes, she has said both of that. And I nearly fell out of my seat laughing. In fact, I believe I did fall out of my seat laughing, and thus caught the entire attention of the bar. At this point, when I was getting back up, I noticed a girl sitting across from us, catty corner. A girl I remember seeing during all our other encounters, and she said, or she had, the liar's eyes. And she had a stunned look on her face, coupled with a dropped jaw, as if she was stunned that Manny might finally be catching on. Then I said, wait, and I pointed at her. Does this girl know your girlfriend? And Manny said yes. And then I asked, is she a feminist? And Manny said yes. And the fear intensified in the woman. I started to remember that this girl was always there in the perfect position to observe the bar while also being close to the gate. I remember her sneers and smiles when Manny would try and step to me. While I had my back to the place, she would always have her face to the place. Thus, why I always saw her. Once I realized that the brunette female may have been a feminist spy to keep an eye on Manny. You see, she always had her smartphone out, and Manny had an hour in between one job and the next. More than enough time to drive home and catch his feminist girlfriend cheating. I asked Manny if there was a well-built guy with muscles that occasionally comes around your place. And he said, yes. Then I knew, and I laughed so hard that I coughed. And I said, that guy is sticking down your girlfriend. And that girl is here as a spy to make sure you don't go home between this job and the next to bust her. The spy's face went to sheer shock and terror. Manny's went to a lot that could only be described as a dreaded puppies that is saying, say it can't be so. I played on this and said, Manny, look at her face. Look at it. What is she afraid of? And then I point and started talking to the spy herself and said, You, tell him the truth. Tell him his girlfriend is cheating on him. She remained silent. And I told Manny she can't bring herself to betray the sisterhood. But look at her face, Manny. Look at her face. Then I said, she knows that not only are you a man, but you're a human. So she has pity for you. So I'm going to tell her to nod her head if your girlfriend is cheating on you. Then I said, woman, nod your head if she is cheating on him. And slowly, she started to nod. The whole time her lying face turning into a face of pity and terror. She was expecting Manny to go monkey shit and beat the crap out of her at any moment. When she realized that Manny was not going to man up and beat the shit out of her, the terror went away, and only the pity remained. Pity, not just for Manny, but then for herself. Manny then looked at me as if I've only seen puppies, frightened children, and the lost people look at me. His face begged, "What do I do?" I told him, without him needing to say a word. In fact, no one was saying anything. The bar was silent, watching this drama. I said, "I don't know what you do, Manny, but I certainly know what you don't do. What you don't do is go home, ever again. Never, ever again. All that shit is hers. You never call her again, or even talk to her again. She is dead to you. If you had pets, they're dead to you now, too. Any leases are ruined. Just take the hit and never call her. All she has to do, Manny, is claim you touched her. Claim you called her. In fact, if you do not want to catch a harassment or stalking case, you will call your mother, tell her what happened, and then burn your phone. You will then sleep in your car or go to a weekly stay motel. Because you have no friends, right, Manny?" And he said yes. And I said, "That is how feminist abusers work. Just like every other abuser. All your friends are really her friends, and that is why this disgusting spy betrayed you. You have no friends of your own. So ask one of your male coworkers to be your life's witness." I then asked him if he came to this town for an education, money, or pussy. And he said, "An education." That is when I said, "Then you focus on that. Fuck these women, and fuck your feminist bosses. You go to the school, and you tell them, I saw what y'all did to other men whose lying, cheating cunt of a whore, girlfriends, cried fear. And you tell those women that you don't give one good goddamn fuck about your lying, cheating, cunt of a whore feminist ex-girlfriend. You tell them that, Manny. That Manny did not come to State University to get blown out in disease-ridden feminist pussy, but you came here to get an education." I also told Manny to record any and all conversations and interactions he had with school officials or even women from now on. I was planning on leaving Manny then, so I got up. But when I turned around, I saw the bar. 30 to 40 people all looking at me in silence. And I saw the connections. At least a fifth of these liberal women were pulling the same ploy, if not a third, on their boyfriends. Because of the bamboo, I started to see not only the connections between the people, but between the bar and bar owners, the town and the university and the county and the state and the nation. Too much, I said. Too much. I looked back at Manny and said, "Do not go home. Do not go home." It was obvious then that this was all about money and pussy. The terrible crimes that State University committed and continued to commit against men is because of pussy. Those lying professors that coerced their students into sex, those feminist females that whore themselves out for grades, the abortion clinics that are present to profit from allowing such behavior to proliferate, the local county court system that set unconstitutional bail amounts, the university police that hand a sexual assault case over the moment they realize rape is involved. Yes, these university police will hand over rape cases to local police because the university police that handle a sexual assault case, the moment they realize it's rape, that rape is involved, it becomes a national federal issue that the federal law and government requires them to report. And if they have to report it to the federal government, then they have to report it to the local press. And this state university has habitually and for years refused to respond or give their rape statistics to local, state, regional, and national papers. They've outright refused. They are covering up rape. So it is not that the rapes didn't happen on campus. It is that the rapes were not the responsibility of the university police to be held accountable for. And all this is to protect the financial interests of the school. Ergo the town. Ergo the women. Because women make baby. And babies populate the town. It's just when I saw the connections, it's all about pussy and money. And as long as pussy feels safe to flow wet, then the money flows with it. Ass and cash, gentlemen. Ass and cash. I saw too much. I shouted to the bar, too much. Much, too much. I went home as best I could. I smoked a bowl and drank myself to sleep that night, tortured by the connections. I never heard from Manny after that, and I never saw him either. He never worked at that bar again. I guess all the feminist and mangina co-conspirators left a bad taste in his mouth. But I do wish him all the best. I hope he learned his lesson. And that is, all feminists are lying, cheating, man-hating abusers. And that the sisterhood is so strong amongst women that we as men need to start a brotherhood. A true brotherhood that even includes blue pillars. Because even women hate pussy beggars. Even women despise the fact most men will throw other men under a bus for some pussy. Some pussy that most women don't even like themselves. Well, peace and long life. Yours truly, M.